Howdy y'all, and welcome to Adventures of Kendall. And we're here in Lone Pine, California. Located within the Owens Valley, just east of Mount Whitney, this community is a charming little place that has all the fixings of a Wild West town full of adventure. The story of this town is quite worth telling, so let's get into it. Before there was a town, the Paiute-Shoshone people lived in the Owens Valley for thousands of years. They built irrigation ditches, hunted game, and grew native crops. The area where Lone Pine sits now was ideal for their way of life. It had creeks, springs, and fertile land. In 1834, Joseph Walker, an explorer, passed through the valley. His route over Walker Pass helped open the area to future travel and settlement. In 1861, silver was discovered in the Inyo Mountains and miners arrived in droves. The town of Lone Pine was founded as a supply point for the booming Cerro Gordo mines across the valley. It was named after a single pine tree that once stood near Lone Pine Creek.
Gold was one of the main reasons for California's becoming a state when it did. There are basically two kinds of gold. Lode gold is found in lode or vein deposits, usually in quartz rock, in the Earth's surface or crust. Placer gold is found in the sand and gravel of streams. It is made up of grains of gold, as well as large particles called nuggets.
Throughout the 1870s, Lone Pine grew as a main gateway to Cerro Gordo and later Darwin. Mules hauled ore and wagons loaded up with supplies for the mines. The town had blacksmiths, boarding houses, saloons, and a steady stream of travelers and prospectors. In 1872, tragedy would strike the community when a deadly earthquake hit the Owens Valley. This quake, which was estimated to be a magnitude of 7.4, caused major damage to the town. Nearly every building had collapsed and about 27 people died. Fault scarps from that earthquake can still be seen today. By 1880, the town was alive and thriving despite the tragedy that happened in 1872. In 1882, the Carson and Colorado Railroad made its way down south from the state of Nevada, reaching Lone Pine's southern neighbor, Keeler, California. Though Lone Pine wasn't directly on the rail line, it remained an important hub for travelers and freighters. Around the turn of the century, Lone Pine began to shift from a mining supply town to a ranching and tourism center. With its location being at the foot of the Sierra Nevada mountains, it made a natural base for climbers, hikers, and adventurers headed toward Mount Whitney, the tallest peak in the lower 48 states. In 1910, Lone Pine would finally get its direct rail connection with the outside world when the Southern Pacific completed their Jawbone branch from Mojave to Owens, where it connected with the Carson, Colorado line, with the initial purpose of transporting construction material up to the LA Aqueduct construction site that was going on during that period. Comment down below if you want to see an episode about the LA Aqueduct on this channel and an episode about the Southern Pacific's Jawbone branch on Railroad Adventures of Kendall. Anyway, another significant change would happen to the town of Lone Pine when a movie production company came to the Alabama Hills, just east of town, to make a silent film. Starring Fatty Arbuckle, the movie was a Western called The Roundup. This was the beginning of Hollywood's association with the area, with filmmaking taking place in the nearby Alabama Hills, something that still happens to this day. Check out our episode about the Museum of Western Film History to learn more about the filmmaking history of Lone Pine. By 1941, local businesses thrived on tourism and film production as Lone Pine's movie legacy continued to grow.
Here are virgin forests grassy plains, rushing rivers, sparkling lakes, and the majestic coastal range of mountains towering over Green Valley.
At the same time, the town's ranching and farming roots kept it grounded. In 1942, Lone Pine residents witnessed one of the darker chapters of U.S. history up close when the Manzanar War Relocation Center opened just north of town. This internment camp held over 10,000 Japanese Americans during World War II. We will go into full detail about the internment camp in a future episode. Throughout the 60s and into the 80s, Lone Pine kept a steady pace with tourists coming into the area for fishing, hiking, and climbing. The town remained a place where folks stopped on their way to places such as Death Valley.
Now let us visit this fascinating valley of color and sunshine.
Today, Lone Pine is a charming little community that brings you a sense of adventure no matter where you are. Even if that adventure includes walking along the sidewalk and seeing all the wonderful stuff, and even popping into some shops. Like the High Sierra Outfitters, a great example of a sporting goods store within the town of Lone Pine, where you get your gear and even some merch before you go on your epic adventures within the area. What if you want to learn about the area? Well, there are museums such as the Southern Inyo Museum, and there's the aforementioned Museum of Western Film History, which also hosts the Lone Pine Film Festival. Other historical landmarks include this adobe wall, which is the only remaining example of architecture in the town before the earthquake. There's also the graves of the people who were killed in the earthquake, including this common grave that inters 16 of the victims and is enclosed by this fence. Nearby is this oak tree, which came from Sherwood Forest, England, and was planted by a member of the Fred French family on the spot that was originally part of the old Harvey Ranch. There's also this pack station, which is a great visual of the pack trains that were started in 1921 and operate between here and the general area of Mount Whitney, including the Whitney Portal. And speaking of natural wonders, there's also the Alabama Hills, a great rocky landscape that has been a great backdrop to many film and television, and is a wonderful place to explore either by hiking or camping within the area. With such depth and color and incredible vistas, including a view of Mount Whitney, the Alabama Hills is a great place for photographers that come out and take some epic pictures. Ain't that right, Jeff Aiello? Speaking of incredible nature, there's also the Whitney Portal, the gateway to Mount Whitney. It is the trailhead of the Mount Whitney Trail and the trailhead of other mountaineering routes such as East Face. There are also great places to eat here in Lone Pine, such as the Mount Whitney Cafe and the Bonanza Family Restaurant. Great places to eat within a small town like this. And if you're looking for a place to stay, there are great hotels within the area, such as the Dow Hotel. This hotel was a popular place to stay for many of the Western stars who were filming their movies within the nearby Alabama Hills, such as William Boyd, Tom Mix, Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, and even John Wayne.
It's kind of nice to know you have something set aside.
Lone Pine may be pretty during the daytime, but it's equally so during the nighttime when all the neon lights are on, giving you a timeless feel of going to a small town, whether you're driving or walking along the streets and seeing the beautiful lights and color all around you. And that was our time. exploring the wonderful Owens Valley town of Lone Pine, California. I hope you had a good time learning the story of this unique community. If you want to follow more of my adventures, subscribe, and also like and comment if you want to see us go on new adventures. Also follow us on our social media platforms. Well, this is Kendall signing off. See you later, folks, and may your gifts bless the world.